This is the second part of my caricature of Stephen King. Here's my sketch from the previous video. In this video I'm going to show you how I coloured that sketch up to make this. I drew the glasses on a different layer, you can see there, so I can turn that layer off and turn down the opacity of the layer I did a sketch on. And then I add a new layer for colouring. You can add that on top of it or underneath, doesn't matter. There's two ways I usually colour these drawings. You can either just use the dropper to sample colours from the reference photo, or you can do the colouring in black and white and then add the skin tones afterwards. So in this case, the source photo is black and white, so we'll just do the colouring in black and white. I kind of went for a sort of a horror look here. I thought that suits Stephen King. So there's not much to say about how you do it. You just get a messy brush, like that one, what I'm calling a messy brush, and set the opacity something below 50%, whatever you can decide what works there. Try out different ones. And then you zoom in on both pictures. And then use the dropper to grab the colours from the reference photo, like this. And then paint it onto the new layer on the digital drawing. And so now it's just a matter of how detailed you want to get, how much time do you want to put into it. I've speeded this video up a bit, obviously. So there I am, continuing with that. My original digital drawing is only a size of A6 and it's not very high res, so I can't go too detailed. But you could make the drawing very big and you could do really fine detail if you wanted. If you wanted to do maybe 10 hours. So just moving along 30 minutes later, I've got this far. I have the sketch on there. You can turn the sketch off. See where I am? Just copying from the reference photo. And another 40 minutes long got us to there. It's fairly detailed, but not too detailed. So to add colour to that, I'm just going to add another layer underneath. Adding colour is quite easy. I just add a layer underneath and take a skin tone from my palette of skin tones and just colour underneath. Because I've already done the darks and shades, the values as they're called. And a bit of red for the lips, I think. And some red around the face. He looks a bit like a reanimated corpse. That's fine, that suits the vibe of Stephen King. Okay, so I'm just going to, here I'm just adding a bit of reflection to the eyes. Just make that a bit stronger. The next thing then I thought is it needs a dark black background. I'm just adding my signature there. It needs a dark background, but the layer I've painted here is not fully, it's going to be somewhat transparent. So when you put a black background behind that, you'll see what I mean. It'll just look too dark. There. So the answer to that is I put one more layer between those two layers, between the black background and the colouring. I put one more layer. And then I'm going to use the Lasso tool and set the feather to 100. And draw around it like that. and then colour it in. So that gives it a kind of a ghostly white. So I think that's it. Then I took this drawing out to another editor and turned up the contrast. So that's it then. That's a spooky looking picture of Stephen King.